Welcome guys, Jay here. Brooks did send me a bunch of their awesome goods, which I'm happy to review for and very much appreciated for doing so. This time around we are looking at Wingman XE2, a simple plug and play USB adapter for your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, unlocking the use of 125 controllers, accessories and peripherals. Love it. You may have already heard of the company Brook, but now with their more recent adapters, they do feature a more compact design, further compatibility with an easy firmware upgrade method. So I was sent a finished product, but yet not really complete and ready for retail. As you can see, and compare this with my Wingman XB2, then you don't see the model ID or even the production number. A bit of a shame, as I do enjoy the whole unboxing experience as well as their listed product of the Wingman XE2. You do have a cool keyring. Shame I missed out on that. Well, the design and build quality is much like the more recent adapters that have been released. So a good build with a USB connection on the top, and then in the bottom we have the USB input. And again we have those LED buttons on the side of this adapter. In this video I'll show you a setup guide. Not going to test out every controller that is compatible, don't really own all of that, but just a few awesome controllers I think they'll be good for this adapter, as well as its extra features. And finally, is this worth picking up? Well, just my opinion anyway, and of course I'd love to hear your comments below. But first up, what I like to do is just head straight to their download page and get the latest firmware so we're all up to date with this adapter. We are looking for the XBE2 version, and I'm using the PC, so I hit that green icon to download their software, where you can also find an updated info list describing all the software updates that have been out for this adapter. These files are zipped files, so drag them somewhere safe and you will find the Wingman SE update folder, and then launch the software. If you are using Windows 11, this error will pop up, but just click the more info and install anyway. And now grab the adapter and pinch the sides, pressing down both of the buttons whilst inserting it into your computer. It has recognized it, and we got the most recent version, which is now currently 1.09 in the timing of this video. And then just click the start button. This will take a couple of minutes, and then when those lights stop flashing quickly, it will then have a steady pace of blue lights flashing, and then you're good to remove the adapter. When inserting, I do recommend using the top USB if you're using a vertical setup, as you have to press both sides of the buttons on the receiver. Press these both down until they start flashing, and then on the Xbox One controller, press the power on button and then the receiver button that is found on top of the controller to sync it all up. The controller will then vibrate like a PS4 controller would do. You would then have to press the Xbox power button, and then you're all signed in and good to go. And man, this is pretty awesome using an Xbox controller on a PS4. Personally, I do think the Xbox controller layout is in my favour, especially comparing it to a PlayStation 3, but the PlayStation 4 did take a step up in comfortability. Either way, it just feels wrong as a gamer, but yet very nice at the same time. With the Brook's adapter, you are limited to functionality, comparing it to the original PlayStation 4 controller. For an example, we can't use the headphone port that is found at the bottom controller that we'd use on PlayStation 4, so then we can use the mic and headphones. Controller input notification also will not tell you how much battery percentage that you got on your controller. As you can see, as I go through my settings, it just won't recognize the headphones or microphone input at all. Another feature we are missing is both the PS5 and the PlayStation 4 are home to use of a little speaker found at the front facing of the controller, where both the Xbox One and the Series controller does not have this at all. Another one is when you do place your console onto rest mode, the controller then will automatically turn off, and you are unable to remotely turn it back on via the Xbox button. Instead of powering it on, it will just turn off the controller instead. So you will have to get up and just turn it on via the power button on the console. When it does come to input latency, the Brook's adapter does really shine. I don't have the technology to really show this in thorough detail, but personally, as I do play these games quite a bit, I have found that the latency is just spot on, just like an original PlayStation 4 controller. I hope that you can gather a type of understanding via this footage. One pretty major problem I found straight after using this adapter with the Xbox One is the connection stability, and this could be a decider for you for picking this up. And I did find that this would lose connection with the Xbox One and the Series pad not too long after. It just froze up with the Xbox One controller, and I tried again and nothing happened. But by removing the adapter itself and then re-syncing, it did then connect the controller back up again. But that's something that you would not want to do as a consumer. But I did test this out in the long run with both the Xbox One and Series. For about 14 minutes into gameplay, this only happened once. And with the Series controller, I just had to unplug the battery and just put that back in and turn it on. If you guys are wondering, with the button layout, they are essentially mirrored from the PlayStation 4 controller to the Xbox, which is pretty great and the way I personally like it. But there are some changes to look out for, which I'll mention very soon. With both these controllers, you can also use it as a wired connection, so you can always preserve that battery and perhaps even minimize that latency input. But again, I don't have the technology to really prove that. Heading over to the PlayStation 5 now, you'll be getting the same experience, a simple connection setup. And as I failed to mention earlier, with one controller synced up to the adapter, next time you turn on the console, it will just be saved, so you just turn on the controller and you're good to go. As I did mention before, there are changes with the button layout, especially with the view button. This time it is not share, it acts as a function trigger button. To access the share button on the PlayStation 4, you will just hold down the view button and then simply press the menu button at the same time. This will help to trigger it. Of course, another feature that the Xbox pad is missing is the touchpad that found on the PS5 and PS4, but to emulate this again, simply hold down the view button as it acts as a function button and press the R3. That will then act as you're touching the touchpad down. To emulate different placement touches on the touchpad, you would then simply hold the view button and move the R stick across to show where you are pressing on the touchpad. So Brooks has managed to get all these features covered. All this and more greater details on this product you'll be able to find on their product listing website. This adapter also features a turbo function, which reminds me of those third-party controllers we had back in the day. To enable turbo mode on both the Xbox One and Series controller, press the function button down, which is the view button on the controller, and Xbox guide until you see the lights have changed into red. Now press the function button again and then press which button you would like to enable turbo mode. Then you press the menu button to save this, then press the Xbox button again to exit turbo mode, and you are all good. To disable and delete turbo mode, you have to enter the turbo function again. So to do that, again press the view button and then press the Xbox button until the lights are red again, and then simply just press the view button and menu button together, and that should wipe it clean. And then you just press the Xbox view button to get back into your game. I did also manage to test out the 360 pad, where you would need an additional 360 wireless USB receiver. The official one or the non will work just the same, but it does add some serious cable jungle, making it not the prettiest of setups. But I would say after an hour of gaming, I had zero connection dropouts, making it the most stable connection I've had with all these three controllers. Man, I love me some div. So all in all, using my preferred controller with my preferred console is a mega win-win for me. And the fun doesn't stop there, as there's around 125 controllers that are compatible with this adapter, including Switch controllers and arcade sticks, making this a great add-on feature for both your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation 5. I will be working on a generalization video guide on these adapters, showing you my personal favorite setup. So as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to support this channel, just click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you lot on the next video.